Hello, my friends. I am B, and this is B's Intuition. Today we're going to do a reading. Let's do what is the next major happy moment that you're going to experience. So, yeah, kind of like what's the next blessing? What is the next thing taking part in the collective's life that will make them very happy? Yeah, let's just dive right into it. Please and thank you, Spirit. What is the next big thing that's going to make the collective very happy? Please and thank you, Spirit. What is the next big thing that's going to make them very happy? Anything else? Please and thank you, Spirit. What's going to make the collective very happy? What event or situation or circumstance will make them very happy? Please and thank you, Spirit. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, very interesting. Okay, well, I'll just show you what came out. So, the first one is the Seven of Cups. That came out with the Knight of Pentacles. And then we have the Five of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, Five of Pentacles, and then at the bottom of the deck, 10 of Swords. Okay, I'm just going to dive right into the clarification because I have no idea where this is taking us. But we will see. Okay, starting out with that Seven of Cups. Please and thank you, Spirit. What is the next big event or thing that's taking place that will make the collective very happy? With that Seven of Pentacles, no. That Seven of Cups. Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay. Interesting. Well, what came out is, whoa, the Justice card, Page of Pentacles, the Death card, Six of Swords, and then the Five of Wands came out, but it came out in this direction. I feel like that's a good thing. To me, that's reading, well, actually, let me look at the other cards first and see what I get through those before I say anything too concretely. So the Seven of Cups is usually that feeling of confusion, things not being quite solid or solidified quite yet. Things are kind of up in the air, uncertain. There's also like this daydreaming energy with the Seven of Cups that can kind of come across. Also, there's like that feeling with the Seven of Cups of like multiple doors being open to you, but only certain ones are serving you. And so it's like your choice, like which path do you choose? And being in that moment of like, okay, this is overwhelming. There's so many things to choose from. I don't know which way to go, what to do. That can also be a theme with the Seven of Cups. But I'm getting a sense of confusion, really. A sense of like not really knowing where something or someone, some situation really lies. Like where's the truth, or like where is the, yeah, like what's the reality of the situation? I feel like you have some sort of confusion around that. But I think you're going to be coming into clarity, especially with the Justice card. The fact that it was the first one to come out is really significant, I feel. Also, like the Justice card, although it is about like gaining a sense of balance, balancing the scales of justice, but there's also the sword over here, which is about bringing the truth to light, or bringing some sort of information to light that is necessary here. So I think that this is going to be illuminated, whatever this situation is that is confusing. I think that you're going to be coming into a time of illumination where that becomes illuminated and things become much more clearer for you. The Page of Pentacles. This could be the person that's sharing this message of clarity regarding the situation. You may see this person as younger than yourself or immature, or they may just be kind of scared of you, intimidated, depending on what the situation is. The Death card follows that. But I feel like this is more so like the end of confusion. So if you've been feeling confused when it comes to a certain situation, I feel like this Death card is representing the end of that confusion. And then it's like once you have that clarity and understanding, I feel like whatever the situation is, you can make like the proper decisions and maybe transform this dynamic, or yeah, either it's going to be transformed once you have this information, or maybe you're going to leave it behind because it's no longer serving you. And with the Six of Swords following that, it definitely could be a leaving behind sort of energy, because the Six of Swords, as much as it's about like moving towards like calmer waters and like moving towards like opportunities and stuff, it also can be a card of like leaving something behind. But usually this is a good thing. Whatever was in the past or that you're leaving behind wasn't really serving you. And you know that going forward is probably the only healthy option here. So yeah, you could definitely be leaving behind a situation, especially once you have clarity on it, and making that decision to just keep going because it's like better, like the future's got to be better than the past kind of energy. I really feel like this could have been something that caused you maybe a lot of like mental confusion or anguish, even depending on the situation. Five of Wands coming out like this, I feel like it hit me in the moment as like conflict being laid to rest. So if there is like a situation where the lack of clarity felt very tense and it caused some sort of friction between you and another person, or situation, it feels like that conflict is being laid to rest. Kind of like burying the hatchet, sort of like letting bygones be bygones. I almost feel like maybe you make a decision in relation to clarity, receiving clarity. And then it's like maybe the two of you sort of, if this is another person, which it could be something related to love because it is the Seven of Cups that we're clarifying. So say if it is, for example, a person. I feel like the Five of Wands coming out like this, that feels like the two of you are going your own separate ways, but not with like a lot of hostility. Like a peaceful ending, I feel, could definitely be taking place here. Or if there has been any sort of like conflict or tension, that could also be laid to rest with the information coming to light as well. Bottom of the deck is the Devil card. I feel like this is talking about you taking back your control. Maybe this was a toxic environment, toxic situation, circumstance, person that you're moving away from. And it's like you realize that even if you felt disempowered in the past in relation to this circumstance, you're going to feel much more empowered and realize that you have more control than you realized, and you can take those actions to actively move away from this thing that isn't serving you, or maybe actively hurting you to some extent. I want to see what's underneath the Devil card. King of Swords. So this could have to do with a King of Swords here. Also, King of Swords, that's a good sign of someone that's going to be communicating. So maybe this is the person that is going to be shedding light on this truth or information. or it is the person that this is referring to, who may kind of be toxic, depending on your situation. Somebody that could have been like really guarded and like lacking in emotion, and that being more on the shadowy side, on the more toxic side of the King of Swords energy. Like it feels like a lack of balance there, so it's probably like they were overly logical or very closed off when it came to their emotions, very defensive, not really letting people in. That could have been your experience with this person here. And so when you get some sort of truth and clarity in regards to this situation, then you act accordingly. I almost feel like this information could even free you in a sense. Could allow you to feel that sense of like, oh, okay, now I'm finally breaking free from this situation. I wanted to almost say situationship. The ducks are very angry, I think. They keep quacking. Anyways. Poop, the duck distracted me. No, I don't have it anymore, but I'll add it in when I'm editing, hopefully. But yeah, this could have been in somebody that's kind of toxic, and oh yes, that's what I was saying, is like the truth coming to light could feel like you're really breaking free from something toxic. And I wanted to say situationship because that's kind of what it feels like. You know, you're like in this state of limbo, not really knowing like, what are we? What aren't we? You know? And then it's like you get that clarity, and then it's like, okay, now I know I can move on with my life and find somebody else, because this is clearly not it. You know what I mean? So definitely could be something in relation to that. But since this is what is going to be making you happy, I think that this information is coming in at the right time, and you do feel this sense of freedom. You do feel this sense of breaking free from maybe some sort of toxic or karmic sort of connection here that you knew was just not good for you. Okay, let's go on to the Knight of Pentacles, see what that's about. Please and thank you, Spirit. Ooh. Let's see what that's about. Please and thank you, Spirit. Well, who is this Knight of Pentacles? And how is this going to make the collective very happy? Felt like it need to come out. Okay, maybe one more. Okay. Oh. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me stop saying interesting, right? Okay. So what came up for the Knight of Pentacles? We have the Queen of Wands, Page of Cups, the Lovers. The Devil card came out like this, so I'm gonna read it as both this way and reverse. And then the Sun card, bottom of the deck, is the King of Swords. This is so interesting. So Knight of Pentacles is a really good energy. It's very slow and oh, I think I might get the message, but I'm not gonna try and jump the gun. Knight of Pentacles, that's a very stable, like well thought out sort of person on their path, making the right sort of investments for their future and not being afraid if something takes time, because the Knight of Pentacles has that wisdom that, you know, if I take time with something, I can build it up over time and have it be built up to something that's really worth having. Very logical, very reasonable sort of mindset this person has. With the Queen of Wands, it's also, oh, okay. So the Queen of Wands, I feel like this could be your energy here. You're coming across as somebody that is in their power. I almost want to say maybe this Knight of Pentacles is you, and you've been working on something that is going to leave you feeling very empowered, and it's maybe due to your past investments in something. Could definitely be career related or like project related, something that like leads to your abundance or gives you a sense of purpose and fulfillment out of life. And then the Page of Cups. So I feel like this person's intentions, if this is somebody else, this Knight of Pentacles, this person's intentions would be to open up to you romantically. Okay. And that may be why they're taking their time, is because they may be nervous if they're a page and you're a queen. I feel like that's kind of obvious that they would probably feel a little insecure. Not so certain that you would even be interested in what they have to offer. Actually, when I said that, I felt this sense of like, you probably have better options than me. So this could be somebody that thinks that you're like out of their league or something, or like you have better options. And so they feel really like you probably don't want them. Interesting. And yet, they're slowly making their way to you, if that is the correct message there. And of course, I guess this is going to apply differently for all of you out there. So I guess take which storyline best suits your situation here to gain the most clarity out of this reading. And then the Lover's card. So the Lover's card, and then it was the Devil that was coming out like that. And so I'm taking that combination as somebody could see you as their soulmate, or somebody that is just like divinely guided to them to be in their life in some major way. And so you've inspired this person to close out toxic cycles. And I almost feel like maybe they're in that process right now of closing out toxic cycles, because it came out like that. So I'm going to read it as both this and this. So the Devil upright, you know, that has to do a lot with like toxicities and stuff. But with it coming out like that, that would indicate to me that this person is pushing themselves past these toxicities that they see within them or within their life or within a certain environment, circumstance, whatever. Pretty much, I feel like this is somebody that's analyzing their life and they're like, okay, where are my toxicities, you know, kind of growing out of control, and what can I do to correct that before it turns into a bigger monster here? And so they want to be in this Devil card in the reverse energy, but they may be still kind of in the process of getting to that point. Yeah. And I feel like you are encouraging this person. I don't think that it's like literally. I don't think you're like, hey, do this thing. I think to me, it hits me more so like this is somebody that may want to kind of prove themselves to you by making these actions that are taking these actions that are kind of hard to do, such as like analyzing one's inner toxicities and making the changes necessary to move away from those things, because that's not a very easy thing to do. But it's like they're willing to do that for you. And it's very interesting that this all the cards that came out ended with the Sun card, because the Sun card is like the happiest card in the deck. That's a lot of happiness, but also a lot of like illumination. So I wonder if this is somebody that wants to illuminate their story here, share their story, share how you have made some sort of major impact in this person's life, and you have inspired or motivated them to improve themselves or work on themselves in like a major way. the Devil card in the reverse, you know, working in that direction of really kind of clearing out those toxicities and maybe toxic frames of mind, mindsets, perspectives, anything that really will be a huge blockage here. They're doing that because you make this person incredibly happy. And I feel like, so not only is the sun illuminating, I think, this person's truth, which is they have some sort of, they feel some sort of draw to you, some sort of connection. And the sun card could definitely be indicating that coming to light. But also, on the other hand, you make this person incredibly happy, and I feel this sense of like wanting to return the favor. They want to make you happy too. But honestly, you kind of have your own vibe of happiness, to be quite honest, because you're showing up as that that Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands gives off like sun energy to me, and I guess that probably relates to like you know, fire signs and Leo sun vibes. I think you know how to create happiness in your own life. So I feel like honestly you're kind of good on your own, and maybe that's what intimidates this person though. It's like you're very powerful all on your own, and I feel like this could definitely be the type of person to be like, then what do they want with me? Like, what do they see in me though? Because like they're good on their own. What could I possibly provide for them? You have your own sense of happiness that's not really attached to this person, but they can see that and they admire that about you. And you are like this light in their life. You make them incredibly happy, and you probably have illuminated the areas in which they had to work on. It's like you came into this person's life and you were this beautiful beacon of light. And maybe at first they were just like so drawn to the light, but then it's like, oh no, now I see all of the areas of toxicity within me and within my life, and I really got to sort those things out if I'm gonna have a chance with the collective here. Because they see you as somebody that's probably already done that kind of work because of the energy that you're showing up in. Either you've already done that sort of work and you're like you've come out the other side, or maybe you're currently doing that sort of work, and but you've made a lot of progress, and this person recognizes that. They very much admire that sort of inner work that you've been doing. It feels very like internal or maybe even spiritual, but you give very independent vibes, and I feel like they like that though. It's interesting that the King of Swords is at the bottom of the deck again, as we just saw this person in the first part of the reading. And so, if this is the same storyline, like the same person here, I'm wondering, maybe some sort of like, I don't know, because it doesn't feel like that same energy that I had before. Well, it could be possible that maybe you're just dealing with two different air signs. So the air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Maybe that's the case, or you're dealing with two different people that happen to be very kind of cold and standoffish with you. But this, if that is this person in this part of the reading, they don't want to be cold and standoffish with you. They actually want to illuminate their truth, which would be that they have feelings for you, which would be kind of the opposite of what I felt earlier with that King of Swords. Let's look underneath the King of Swords. Maybe it'll give us a little more context. Queen of Cups. Whoa. So someone is definitely drawn to your beautiful heart here. You have a heart of gold, and they see that and they recognize that. You know, I think I'm gonna take out the queen, not the queen, the king of swords, and I'm gonna ask, like, is this the same person from the beginning of the reading? Because I want to clear that up. But Queen of Cups, if this is the same person, or even if it's a different person, I feel like this is somebody that feels like your love could maybe heal them in some way. Or they've seen how your love heals others, or how it deeply impacts those around you, and they want to be like a part of that. Yeah, I'm going to clarify that King of Swords. Is this the same King of Swords we saw before? Please and thank you, Spirit. Interesting. No is the answer. Five of Cups, that's a no. So, from Spirit's perspective, no, this is not the same King of Swords that we saw at the beginning of the reading. So that was a different situation. Slash person. But, Spirit says, but, this is somebody that is heartbroken over you and what took place between the two of you in the past. So maybe this is somebody that you're not currently talking to, or yeah, it's like somebody that you're not in communication with, but they want to communicate with you. And they feel very brokenhearted about what took place here in the past. I almost feel like they didn't see something until it was gone, potentially. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck, because I haven't even looked yet. I wonder if it's the same. Because I didn't really get very far before the Five of Cups came out. Let's see. Oh, Eight of Pentacles. So this is somebody that works very hard. And they probably want to show up in this hardworking energy in regards to you. And work hard to overcome this heartbreak of the past. And maybe work very hard to overcome this guarded energy that they have. Or this lack of emotion. Because it's like they do have a lot of emotions, but maybe they just feel like they can't show them. Or maybe you know this person through work, and maybe it's like the environment not allowing them to be as emotional with you as they would like. That actually would make a lot of sense because of the Eight of Pentacles. And then the Five of Cups would be like that inner disappointment and sadness, where it's like, I never got the chance to really tell this person how I feel, because maybe we're always around our coworkers, maybe we're always in the same professional environment, and the two of you haven't really gotten the opportunity outside of your work, maybe, to really connect and talk about like feelings. They could also be really drawn to your work ethic as well, which would make a lot of sense with that Queen of Wands energy. Queen of Wands is definitely a powerful queen. And driven, very driven. I'm curious. I'm going to just see what's underneath that Eight of Pentacles out of curiosity. Page of Wands. Ooh, interesting. See? Okay. I think that download was correct, because I think this is a coworker. And this Page of Wands is them kind of loosening up a little bit. And maybe even showing you a different side to them that you did not maybe realize was there. Or you didn't see this coming. But it's not going to be anything super crazy and like, you know, outlandish. They're not going to like, you know, bend down on one knee and be like, I love you. No. Like, it's going to be like maybe a little bit of flirtation. It feels like an experiment. Like almost like they're kind of like dipping their toe in there, and they're like, how would the collective respond if I flirted with them right now? Because there's like this sense of open curiosity. And it's almost like they're allowing themselves to be a little bit vulnerable with you in some sense. And it also feels like they feel safe enough to do that with you because of who you are. Interesting. Very interesting. Because I feel like you only ever have seen this person hard at work, you know, keeping a straight face, kind of like not really showing a lot. But on the inside, they probably have those feelings for you, but maybe felt because of work being that sort of obstacle. They never really got to show you their lighter side, their more silly side, dare I say, their more childlike side as well with the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands really speaks to me most times of a youthful optimism. You know, it's like the optimism we have before the world really kind of tears us down. It feels like vulnerability and fun. It's like they could even start at like make a joke or something. Yeah, maybe they like kind of want to joke with you. Like it feels like they want to show you a different side to themselves, like a side that you have not yet seen. Very, very interesting. But yeah, I feel like they want to open up to you about their feelings, and maybe that they've been kind of holding on to these feelings for some time now, and they feel like the time is ready, or like the time is right to open up about that. And they're hoping that maybe there's like a, I want to say second chance, but I don't even know if this person even had a chance at the beginning, or if the two of you really ever had a chance to start with. But maybe it was because they weren't vulnerable with you. They felt like they had to have their guard up around you, probably because of the environment, probably because of like professionalism. And so maybe it's simply just the fact that they never really opened up to you about this, and so it never really got the chance to go anywhere because they weren't even open with you about it. But now it's like they want to open up. And I feel like they want to do it subtly at first, but then it's like they want to build on top of that. Very interesting. It's also interesting that King of Swords was clarified by the Five of Cups, and we're about to clarify the Five of Cups here. So this could be a continuation of this person's story. But Spirit said this is not the same King of Swords as we saw earlier. So I'm hopeful about that. I'm hoping that this is somebody that's actually healthier, more of a healthier King of Swords. Because the shadow aspects of the King of Swords can definitely kind of go real bad and toxic. But yeah, because I really don't feel like they're the same person. Like, just intuitively, based on my intuition, I feel like these are two different people. Like, I feel like there's one where you get clarity and you can move on. And then there's one where they actually come towards you and kind of open up to you, sort of kind of work their way in to kind of like show you that they kind of like you like that or something. Yeah, it feels like one is like a dead end, the other one is like a door opening up, potentially, if you're into it, of course. Interesting. Let's go on to the Five of Cups now and see what that's about. Please and thank you, Spirit. Can you clarify this Five of Cups? And what is this that's going to make the collective so darn happy? Please and thank you, Spirit. What is it? Okay, let's see. Okay. This is good, but it's, I don't know, I guess surprising? Yeah, I'll just show you. So, clarifying the Five of Cups. Okay, clarifying the Five of Cups. We have the Knight of Swords. That was followed by the Chariot. Lot of quick action, movement forward, away from this Five of Cups, I'm feeling. And then we have the Ace of Cups, Queen of Cups. Bottom of the deck is the Three of Cups, but it started to shift off, and like a couple back, it started to expose the Two of Cups underneath. Which that could definitely be maybe a friend that wants to be more than a friend, potentially. Okay, the Five of Cups. I mean, oh, maybe this Five of Cups is you, how you felt about a certain situation. And now that situation could be coming in. to repair what has taken place, but it doesn't really feel like a reparation sort of energy. It feels more so like somebody's brokenhearted about what took place between the two of you. And so they're like, instead of just lingering in this heartbreak, I want to go towards the collective and express my feelings and see what they have to say about it. It's like they want to put the ball in your court, see what you do with it. Because it's like, I need to let this off my chest, because otherwise I'm going to be heartbroken forever. And super sad. Maybe always wondering what could be. Now they're just like, I'm taking action. I'm going to be spontaneous, impulsive maybe, but at the same time it doesn't really feel super impulsive with the Chariot, because the Chariot, there's like deeper significance between or behind the movement that the Chariot has. It's about like, you know, going towards things that are part of your purpose or you feel like you're divinely guided to. So they feel like a big significant purpose here between the two of you, and they would like to express that. They could see a lot of compatibility between the two of you too. A lot of water sign energy. The Chariot is Cancer, and then it's like the Five of Cups, the Ace of Cups, Queen of Cups. We saw at the bottom of the deck the Three of Cups and Two of Cups. So yeah, a lot of water sign energy. They don't necessarily have to be a water sign, but this person's definitely in their feelings about you. That's for sure. They actually have so many feelings for you that they may get overwhelmed at times by these feelings. They definitely want to share this with you, that they have all these feelings for you. Maybe they've been holding on to these feelings for quite some time. Again, I feel like this is a different person. Each part of this reading so far, it feels like these are different people. I guess you're going to be gaining a lot of clarity about the people around you and who has those feelings, who is willing to improve themselves, to be in alignment with you, who it's just not going to work out with, and then you can move on with your life. This person sees you as the Queen of Cups, somebody that is very heart-focused slash, very loving, kind, open, sincere. Like, you care for a lot of people. They like that. They could just be so drawn to your heart, to your love, to your inner glow is what I'm getting. Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck could definitely be a sign that this is a friend or somebody in your community. I want to see what's underneath that Three of Cups. The Moon. They've been keeping these feelings a secret. Maybe out of fear. Maybe out of fear of ruining this friendship here. I'm gonna go until I hit that Two of Cups. See what's underneath this Moon card. Three of Swords. So them keeping their feelings a secret has left them feeling brokenhearted about the situation. Now that's interesting to me. Because it's like, I'm getting this sense of I only have myself to blame. Because it's like they never really gave anything a chance to begin with, because they were maybe too afraid of sharing their feelings with you. Afraid that they would not be reciprocated. And so maybe they kept quiet, but that quietness kind of made them feel like, oh geez, I missed my chance. And I think the Two of Cups is underneath this one, but we'll see. Yeah, Two of Cups. Why do I feel like with that Three of Swords, and it also being on top of the Two of Cups, it feels like in their past, when they've had these sort of this sense of like having a connection with someone, they've kept it quiet and broken their own heart in that process. To me, this feels like someone that may not be incredibly confident, maybe about their appeal to others, or other people having the same sort of feelings that they have. Like they're afraid of like things not being reciprocated, so it's almost like they kind of shut things down before they even give themselves the chance to see where this goes, or where something like that would go. And now it feels like they're shaking things up. They're like, I'm moving out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna actually express myself to this person. Let them know how I feel. Because I don't want to be thinking for the rest of my life what could have been. I feel like you're a very attractive person, so it makes sense why people are, kind of really sort of in your energy right now. And why they're like thinking so heavily about you, and kind of what they want to tell you, what they want to share with you. You may just be in a very attractive sort of energy right now, and people are kind of like, I can't think of the right word, but both of the two words that come to mind are not the correct ones that I want to use, but for lack of a better term, like people are sort of like lingering around you, or they're kind of like it's in your energy field. I don't think that they're literally like standing next to you. I feel like it's like just, people that are thinking about you, thinking about coming towards you, planning things to do, planning when to come towards you, all that kind of stuff. It feels like a lot of people have you on their mind. And I would say a good amount of them probably have some sort of romantic intention / feelings towards you. But yeah, this feels like somebody that may not usually be very confident. And so they've kept their feelings to themselves. But now they're like, no, I'm going to give myself the opportunity to express these feelings, because maybe they've lived their whole life never really expressing those types of feelings. And so it's like, yeah, like maybe I should just do what's uncomfortable, do what I never have done before, which is opening up about my feelings to this person. And they feel like you are a safe space to do that as well, because of how kind, loving, and receptive you are as a person. You're very empathetic as well, I want to say. And so you may even be like, wow, that took a lot of guts, that took a lot of like courage to come towards me and express yourself, especially if this is somebody that's maybe shy, or somebody that may be a little bit socially awkward, or has difficulties in those ways, or something along those lines. You may be kind of impressed, and who knows, maybe you're more receptive to this person than they gave themselves credit. Okay, let's go on to the King of Pentacles, see what that's about. Please and thank you, Spirit. Who is this King of Pentacles? Please and thank you, Spirit. And what about them is going to make the collective super happy? Please and thank you. What about this King of Pentacles is going to make the collective super happy? Please and thank you. What about this King of Pentacles is going to make the collective very happy? Please and thank you, Spirit. What about this King of Pentacles would you like to share with the collective? Please and thank you, Spirit. Anything else about this King of Pentacles? Please and thank you, Spirit. Any other information about this King of Pentacles? Please and thank you. Anything else? Ooh, thank you, Spirit. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah. Clarifying that King of Pentacles, we have the Knight of Wands, Five of Swords, Ten of Swords, Six of Wands came out in the reverse, bottom of the deck, Nine of Cups. Very interesting. So the King of Pentacles is somebody that's secure, sturdy, confident, grounded. So why are they showing up in this Knight of Wands / Five of Swords energy? Because the Knight of Wands has more of like a flirty, non-serious energy. But when I think of the King of Pentacles, I see that as a long-term sort of person. It could be that this is just somebody that maybe puts on a facade. This could be somebody that's kind of fake, where it's like they put out this image of somebody that's secure in themselves, secure in their life, abundant, stable. But maybe they are more so a player, and maybe not very nice with that Five of Swords. Five of Swords is kind of a bullying type of energy. It's possible, I suppose, that maybe if you had a toxic past with this King of Pentacles, that they are coming in that Knight of Wands energy to sort of apologize for what took place in the past. Because then that Five of Swords is followed by the Ten of Swords, and that's like rock bottom. Maybe this is somebody that is facing some sort of karma? Bad karma maybe for like what they did to you? If they played with you and did bad things to you, they're receiving their karma of being at their rock bottom and realizing just how bad the situation was and how it's sort of like a situation that they can never really come back from. Ooh, this is so interesting. I think this is somebody that caused you trauma. And they are deeply in regret about that. But the Knight of Wands feels like such a strange energy for this person to show up in, because it speaks almost to me of like them like coming in across as like not very authentic, or laughing it off, or like, I don't know. It's like that immature energy I'm getting with that Knight of Wands. Like they feel, I want to say, all of this mental anguish. They feel all of this like heaviness about what has taken place between the two of you. But it's like when they come back in towards you, they're showing up in this like lighthearted sort of energy. Maybe even slightly flirtatious. This is such a strange energy. And then the Six of Wands in the reverse. Why do I feel like this could be like another example of like their bad karma? Because the Six of Wands upright is a card of success, being successful here, being celebrated for that success. So in the reverse, ooh, I just got a juicy download. I think something took place here, and now people see this person for who they truly are. They're no longer seen as this King of Pentacles. I think now they're seen as like this Knight of Wands / Five of Swords energy. The mask fell off, and it's because of what they did to you that this mask is falling off, and the real person beneath it is being exposed. And I want to say being exposed for what they did to you. They could have even put you into this Ten of Swords energy. They could have made you feel like you were at their... This person could have made you feel like you were at your rock bottom. This person contributed to you feeling that way. Absolutely devastated, betrayed, doom and gloom. And so it's like naturally they're getting their payback from spirit, I want to say. This person's receiving their... You know what? Now I think, oh my gosh, this is actually kind of funny because now I'm almost even wondering, because of the theme of this reading, like what's going to make you very happy. Maybe this person receiving their karma for what they did to you. You know, it sounds kind of petty and maybe low vibrational, but it might make you kind of happy to kind of overhear like, oh, nobody's falling for this person's tricks anymore. This person's being exposed for exactly the snake that they are. And now I'm almost seeing it more clearly now. Maybe this Knight of Wands isn't this person, but rather somebody who kind of wants to tell you what's been going on behind the scenes. Like, they're being exposed, they're at their rock bottom, they may even be publicly shamed, or like just shamed by the people that they were trying to put on a facade for, like the general public, even, maybe, I don't know. But that would make more sense, because then it makes more sense why this person's in a more jovial, more excited sort of energy, because maybe this is somebody that saw what this person did to you or heard what this person did to you, and so now they're like trying to give you the scoop behind the scenes, because maybe especially if this is somebody that traumatized you, you're probably not even in communication with this person anymore, so you may not know what's going on behind the scenes now. But maybe somebody's about to air out this person's like dirty laundry, so to speak. And now I'm just realizing at the bottom of the deck with the 9 of Cups, why do I feel like and how do I word this? I don't think you were really just like waiting around for this person's downfall by any means, because I think you have your own stuff to do, like worry about, focus on, and whatnot. But with the 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, maybe especially when you were really feeling this like devastation, if this person did put you in this 10 of Swords energy, maybe it was like you're at your rock bottom and you're like, how the hell am I ever going to get out of this rock bottom? And then you like look over the person that caused you all the trauma, and they're just like living their life, having great luck, everything seems to be going their way. And so maybe a part of you that was sort of still unhealed, still very hurt, may have kind of wished for this person to receive their comeuppance. Comeuppance. Is that how it's pronounced? Anyway, like their karma, their payback. Like the universe giving this person their payback, their karma, the bad karma that they deserve. It's also really funny how this person is just sitting here very content, smiling, and nobody else is around, so I almost feel like you're gonna be like and look at, like, this person's surrounded by cups. They're super happy, super content with what they've built in their life. I feel like it's almost like black and white, night and day, very obvious who was in the wrong in this situation. This is such a funny storyline. I did not expect this. I think, yeah, it's going to be obvious, especially to whoever's like coming in to share this message with you. Like, hey, did you hear about so-and-so? They're getting in real big trouble about, them being a piece of shit, And I don't want to really ever call somebody, like a human, a piece of shit, but sometimes there's really awful people in the world. And I hate to say that, but sometimes, like, that's a whole nother thing. That's like something that I spiritually had to realize that was hard to swallow, was like, sometimes people are in the world to be bad people. Like, that's the purpose that they serve in order for, maybe character building for people that are, not that way, or they are like the villain that people who care about the world have to sort of oppose in order for them to kind of reach their own purpose. So, that's something that's kind of rough to kind of realize, especially when it comes to like karma and the receiving of karma, because sometimes it may take somebody a really long time to receive their karma, because in a twisted sort of way, and this makes sense if you think about it from a balanced perspective, is like, if their whole purpose on this earth is to be miserable and horrible and doing a lot of bad things, they are sort of living their purpose. And so they may not face consequences for that for a really long time, unfortunately. But it feels like now shit's hitting the fan, and that is taking place now. But anywho, I think that you're gonna be just so calm, zen, just living your life. You're very happy about what you've built at this point in your journey. I feel like almost like this could be like a distant memory at this point because you've come back so much from that Ten of Swords energy. But here comes this person like, hey, I got some gossip. You want to hear? I got the tea. Yeah, because it's like they're in this like jovial sort of like energy here. I don't think that would be this person coming in and be like, hey, my life is awful, I'm suffering. Like, I don't think that would be the case. So that makes way more sense that this Knight of Wands. Hi puppy. You got embarrassed. Hi puppy. Oh, this is a beautiful doggy. Aw. Hi. You're so cute. I think he was startled that I was here, but I said hello and now he's calm. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, it's going to be very obvious here, I think, about who was in the wrong, who was in the right. And it'll be very obvious in terms of like your material worlds even. Like, because I think you have been building up stability, abundance, and happiness, whereas this person probably was building the opposite, And so it's like, it's going to be very clear. I feel like, and this is going to maybe make you feel vindicated in some sort of sense. Like maybe that justice has been served to some extent. And you're going to be very happy about that. I want to see what's underneath that Nine of Cups. The Emperor. Whoa, baby. Well, damn, that's some crazy energy. Because to me, that feels almost like, have you built yourself an empire? Like, have you empowered yourself that much since whatever took place here that you're not only very happy and content with what you have, but either you're on the track to great success. I'm getting goosebumps. I don't always get goosebumps when I talk, so I feel like that's significant. But you're either building an empire, or you're going to, or like you're set up for big success. Like this is bigger than any king, queen, or anything. This is the Emperor. And that furthers this point. I honestly feel like there's this sense of like poetic justice to an extent, because it literally is going to be so obvious who was in the wrong here, who was in the right, because it's like maybe some time has passed by and like this person's life isn't looking so good anymore, but your life is looking really bright. And like that's interesting. I got the word intentional, but like it's going to be much more brighter. It's going to be much more full of like opportunities, abundance. Like you're going to, yeah, it's going to just be so obvious here. Like who received their karma. And it wasn't like, well, you received your good karma, of course, but you're not receiving the bad karma that this person's attracting. Or maybe it's like all at once too. That sounds kind of rough. Like, especially if this is somebody that's just really nasty. I feel like, yeah, you're probably not the only or first person that they have treated badly. I'm sure they have a long list of past people who they also treated very badly. So think about the amount of karma that builds up over amount of time, being somebody that almost serially hurts other people. Like that's got to hit you like a freaking, not just a ton of bricks, but like a 18-wheeler truck. Like, pow. Damn. I would hate to be them. But, karma, it happens. It exists. And I feel like sometimes Spirit, I almost feel like, that was a bumblebee, by the way. So I'll put that spiritual significance in. But, oh, what was that message? Oh, I honestly feel like Spirit kind of plays with karma to an extent. I don't know, because like there are certain people that are really bad people, right? And you look at them and you're just like, okay, like how has this person maybe spend their whole lifetime, you know, screwing people over, doing terrible things, you know, just wreaking havoc on the world. Um, you know, like, are they just, you know, never going to face those repercussions? Are they never going to feel that karma? Are they never going to, you know, are we not going to see karma take place here? Like, does karma really exist? But I honestly feel like spirit kind of waits for the person to not expect the karma. Do you know what I mean? Like, I almost feel like spirit, because, like, I almost feel like, yeah, because it's like, okay, if this person received their karma, like, immediately after they did whatever they did to you, I feel like they would be expecting it at that point, right? Because they kind of know deep down, okay, I did really do something bad here, or, you know, I hurt this person. And so they would be expecting the karma to hit them then, but they don't expect it years later. You know, when they finally let their guard down, like, okay, like, you know, the karma I did, or the karma that I deserve, you know, from that person, like a few years ago, like, okay, like, I've kind of forgotten or whatever. And then it's like when they least expect it, then karma hits them. And that's personally my belief, based off of what I have personally seen in the world, in life and stuff. Interesting. It almost reminds me of Hamlet. You know, this is such a random reference, but for those that don't know, I'm actually a huge Shakespeare fan. I actually love a lot of, like, Shakespeare's works. I like watching the movies or productions of different Shakespeare plays and stuff. I would love to see a performance in real life. That would be so freaking cool. But anyways, Hamlet. Yes, there is, spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't. Actually, I don't even know if it's really much of a spoiler, because it's kind of the whole plot line of the whole play. But the uncle is a murderer. Let's just put it that way. And Hamlet is trying to get revenge for his dead father. And so there's a point where the uncle is at prayer, and Hamlet is really, like, deeply considering killing his uncle in that moment. But he says something along the lines of, like, you know, I don't want to kill him in this moment, because now he's thinking about his mortal soul. He's feeling that sense of guilt and, you know, asking for forgiveness, all that kind of thing. And he's sort of, like, in the right sort of energy to kind of be killed and then sent to heaven, because he tried to, like, you know, he tried to, like, apologize for his sins and whatnot to God. So it's like, if Hamlet had killed him in that moment, Hamlet felt like that wouldn't be satisfying enough, or, like, that wouldn't be, you know, as justice oriented as he would like. Because it's almost like the uncle has sort of prepared himself to go to heaven. I can't remember the way that Hamlet worded it, but along those lines, pretty much. Like, it would be almost like too perfect to kill him while he's praying, because he is pretty much cleansing his soul before the Lord. And so if I kill him now, he's going to be all ripe and cleaned up and ready for heaven. And so he, instead of killing him in that moment, Hamlet decides to wait. I believe he even says something about, like, you know, I'll wait until he least expects it, and maybe while he's, like, creating sin in his marriage bed, or something along those lines. And I don't know, this just kind of reminded me of that, those lines from Hamlet, because it's like, you know, if, yeah, it's like spirit wants to wait until they have this person who's hurt you. They kind of want to wait for this person to let their guard down, to kind of maybe even forget, be lulled into a sense of peace. And then it's like, when they least expect it, here comes karma. And then it's like in the Hamlet play, when the uncle least expects it, here comes Hamlet. He's gonna kill you. I don't know why that came through. Maybe somebody out there is a Shakespeare fan as well. Interesting. Well, this is not what this channel is about, but I'm curious, does anybody else believe that William Shakespeare was a bi icon? Because that's my personal belief. He was bisexual. What do y'all think? Anyways, leave your guesses down below in the comments, I guess. Anyways, let's get back to the reading. Enough about Shakespeare. Maybe I'll talk about Shakespeare on my second channel at some point, because I actually really love Shakespeare. And I would love to kind of like sort of explore, because like there's a lot of psychology in Shakespeare that I feel like gets overlooked sometimes. Shakespeare had a deep understanding of human psychology before human psychology was even really studied professionally. I don't think people really realize how incredible that is, because he really understands so many different, like he just knows people. It's kind of like Jane Austen in a way. You know, those really good writers that just understand human psychology so deeply without it needing to be a study or, you know, I don't even know how to word that, but pretty much very interesting and insightful writers I really enjoy. Anywho, let's get back to this. King of Wands, let's clarify that. Please and thank you, Spirit. Who's this? And why are they making the collective so darn happy? Please and thank you, Spirit. Who's this King of Wands? And why are they making the collective so darn happy? Please and thank you, Spirit. Please and thank you. King of Wands, clarification for the collective. Please and thank you. Anything else about this? King of Wands for the collective. For the collective. Anything else about this King of Wands? Why are they making the collective so happy? Ooh, why are they doing that though? Okay. So, clarifying that King of Wands, we have Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Interesting. The Hierophant. And then we have Nine of Pentacles, the Magician, Four of Swords. Bottom of the deck is Three of Cups. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse is interesting to me. This is somebody that may think that you don't like them. Because it's like Queen of Pentacles upright is usually a very open, calm, cool, collected, grounded, very like, you know, chill energy, kind, giving. But in the reverse, it feels almost like closed off. Not so friendly, not so open, not so caring, not so giving. I feel like this is somebody that may have burned a bridge with you, and they're expecting the worst version of yourself if they were to interact with you. Okay. But then we have the Hierophant, Nine of Pentacles, Magician, Four of Swords. This feels like your energy to me. So it's interesting that they view you as this Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, but yet the way you're showing up in the world, I want to say, is quite the opposite. You're somebody who has a lot of spiritual experience and wisdom. You're somebody that people listen to. You're incredibly independent and secure and abundant. You're really rocking whatever you're doing here. And the Magician, I would say that this is you manifesting the life that you want for yourself. And the Four of Swords maybe even is like talking about how you got to that point. Self-isolating, caring for yourself, resting, meditation, connecting with spirit in like the smaller ways. I sometimes see the Four of Swords as like a mini hermit phase. Interesting. I feel like this could be somebody that burned a bridge with you, but somehow they're able to see all of your progress. They're able to see how far you're going in life. And maybe this Four of Swords could even be them being in this mode of reflection of like, damn, I could be a part of all of this if I didn't burn the bridge here with this person, the collective. If I didn't get on this on the collective's bad side. Oh, hi, puppy. Hi. Hi.
Other way.
That is a cute dog. Oh my goodness. Okay, that made me so happy. Okay, anyways, oh, what was I saying? Yes, it's almost like if I didn't get on the collective's bad side, I would be able to be a part of all of this wonderful stuff that they are manifesting, creating for themselves. And now they're just like really kind of ruminating in that, or like, yeah, they're thinking a lot about this, reflecting on themselves, reflecting on the past that the two of you shared. Interesting energy. And then with all of that context, it is possible that the two of you were friends before this bridge got burned, but the Three of Cups, to me at least, is hitting me more so as like, potentially, what was that message, Spirit? Oh, third party, potentially. Maybe that's how this person burned a bridge with you, by entertaining a third party, being disloyal. Because I feel like that would be exactly the type of thing that would take a Queen of Pentacles and put her in the shadow Queen of Pentacles energy. Somebody being unfaithful to a Queen of Pentacles? Because the Queen of Pentacles is probably going to be one of the most loyal people. I'm going to see what's underneath that Three of Cups. Nine of Wands. You have your guard up to this person. Yeah, I think I was right here. They did something to you to make you feel very wounded, very hurt. And I almost feel like things have never been the same since. So this could have been like your first experience with like being cheated on. This could have been like your really first serious love betrayal. And it's something that's like so, like you can't just forget it. It's unforgettable. And it's like, yeah, it could even be one of those situations where it's like, I don't even want to forgive this person. That's how badly they hurt me. But this person is thinking about you. They're thinking about how, okay, so maybe the way that this would be a good thing and make you happy is knowing that someone that really effed you over here, it's like they're forced to kind of see you glow up. They're kind of forced to see you attracting everything you want out of life. And they may feel like they're not, or that they feel left behind. They feel like you are moving forward in life and they are maybe staying stuck, staying in the same sort of place that they always have been. So I'm getting like almost a sense of jealousy. So that's interesting. I guess like it's possible I'm getting that this could have been like a past relationship, romantic, or it could have been like a past friendship potentially. Either way, this person knows that they did you wrong, and now it's almost like their karma is seeing you glow up, seeing you become successful, abundant, stable, people flocking to you because you have things to say and people value what you have to say. You're manifesting the life that you want, and that's something that you don't see every day. So of course people are going to want to come towards you for that reason as well. It's like, how did you do this? How did you manifest so much into your life? Very interesting. I don't think this person's coming towards you or anything. I don't think that I don't see any motion based energy here or anything like that. So I think that this is probably just somebody, hell, maybe you even blocked them and so they can't message you even if they wanted to. But yet maybe if you have like a public platform or you're doing something in the public eye, they could see how things are really improving for you. And they may feel a sense of jealousy about that, or a sense of like, damn, I could have been a part of that if I acted right, but I messed up. And that is interesting too, because we're about to clarify the Five of Pentacles. I almost wonder if this is this person's energy, because the Five of Pentacles is really feeling left out in the cold, feeling insecure, lacking something. Let's clarify that. Please and thank you, Spirit. Can you clarify this Five of Pentacles, and how is this going to be making the collective super happy? Please and thank you, Spirit, with this Five of Pentacles. Can you illuminate us when it comes to this Five of Pentacles? How is that playing a part in this story? Please and thank you, Spirit. How is that playing a part in this story? Please and thank you, Spirit. Anything else about this Five of Pentacles? Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay. Oh, that's funny. Well, so what we have, clarifying that Five of Pentacles, we have the Three of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. Three of Wands came out like this, okay? And then the Strength card upright, bottom of the deck, the freaking Empress. I feel like saying it is obvious to everyone that you are glowing up. Your glow up is literally undeniable. The good things that you're attracting into your life are literally undeniable. It's interesting though that the Three of Pentacles came out as the first card to clarify the Five of Pentacles, because I was just saying in that last part that I felt like that Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck was referring to something along the lines of a third party. Three of Pentacles with the Three of Cups can definitely be confirmation for a third party here, or there was. So I almost wonder, is somebody receiving their karma for putting you in a third party situation, trying to build a foundation with you but also someone else at the same time, and you found this out and you kicked this loser to the curb is what I got. That's funny. Yeah, this person tried to hide the fact that they had another person in the picture. Seven of Cups. Remember earlier we clarified the Seven of Cups, and that is a card of like confusion, illusions. This person tried to like, distract you in some way, like, oh yes, you're the only one for me. Just don't look at my inbox. Don't look in my messages inbox, text messages. Yeah, somebody that kind of was trying to pull the wool over your eyes, but I almost wonder, Wheel of Fortune, either this came to light and Spirit like shined a light on this betrayal or sneaky something here, and that could be a possibility here. Or maybe Spirit gave you the intuitive download of something's not right here, trust that, and you trusted that feeling and you moved accordingly. You moved away from this person because you felt like Spirit was telling you, screaming at you through your intuition maybe, something's not quite right, this person's hiding something. I don't think this person is who they say they are, and I don't think that they're doing what they say they're doing. And maybe you thought you were crazy at the time, but maybe a turn of events shows you Like, as everything plays out the way that it should, you found out, oh, so my intuition was correct. They were cheating on me, or they had a third party, or whatever it was. They were being deceitful, dishonest, and they were three's a crowd, you know, when it comes to this, like, relationship dynamic that you two shared. Because it's like, if you're in a monogamous relationship, yeah, there shouldn't be any more people involved. But yeah, this person was being sneaky. And the thing is, too, I've always noticed this about people. It's always the ones that want you to be, you know, loyal to them. The whole time they are sleeping with somebody else on the side. But they want to make sure that you are locked down. And, you know, oh, it's so annoying. I've noticed that a few times in my own personal experience. It's always the people that are like the most desperate to have you in a relationship that are out there cheating on you. And they have been before they even were with you. Like, they're like, you know, cheating with their baby mama the entire time. You know what I mean? But yeah, you could have literally been so correct in your intuition, and you left this person out in the cold, and that was the right thing to do. Damn. You know what? I'm actually really glad that that is the message coming through, because at first when I saw the Three of Wands, I got scared, especially the way that it came out like that, because I'm like, oh no, is this person about to make a reappearance in your life? But no, I don't think so. I think what this is saying is that you received some sort of major download from Spirit, and instead of ignoring it, instead of like being like, oh, you know, I'll give this person the benefit of the doubt, you acted accordingly in alignment with that knowledge that Spirit was giving to you. And it feels like, even, yeah, like the longer this, you know, the more that this whole story played out, eventually you probably experienced your aha moment, or your moment of like, I'm not crazy. They were doing something or whatever. And then the Three of Wands coming out like this, I honestly feel like you cleared your path. I feel like, you know, karmics tried to stand in your way between you and your goals, between you and the future that you want for yourself. They tried to be obstacles, but you cleared your path. It's almost like you were able to see what was not seen, what this person maybe tried to like really hide from you, tried to even make you believe that it wasn't there. But it's like you trusted your intuition. You acted in accordance to what Spirit was telling you. That wisdom, that knowledge that came from within, you listened to it and you acted accordingly. And I feel like you showed an amount of strength, because that's a whole nother thing too. Some people, I feel so bad for those types of people, but some people are just so desperate for love. They think that they can't get any better out there, it can't get better than this bozo, but they will simply stay with those people even after knowing that they cheated on them. And they expect that person to change. They expect that person to not do that again. What is that saying? Like, a horse can't change its stripes or something? Yeah. But yeah, you're not like that, or you weren't like that when it came to this situation. You trusted that better was out there. You showed an amount of strength and courage to trust your intuition, act in accordance to that intuition, that intuitive download you're receiving. And as a result, your life is looking so beautiful and abundant. You're coming into so much success. You're being seen as somebody that's successful, abundant, glowing with just beautiful energy. Things are working out much better for you, and it's because you trusted your intuition, and you removed the types of people out of your life that were supposed to leave your life. And I think it's all due to you. I want to say, like, you should thank yourself for getting yourself out of those situations, because not everybody has the strength to do that. Not everybody has the will to do that. Not everybody has the desire to do that. And yet you, no matter how hard it was in the moment, because of course nobody wants to move away from the person that they think is their soulmate, or the person that they see as their soulmate or whatever. Like, like nobody wants to move away from somebody that they actively love. But yet you faced that difficulty, and you did not veer off path. You did not let that uh, you didn't let that feeling stop you from doing what was right for you and your story. And it's almost like whatever comes into your life now, it's all thanks to you, and it's thanks to your intuition. But more than that, it's due to you trusting your intuition and acting in accordance with it. And it's leading you, and it's kind of like setting you up for a lot of good things to come into your life. And I feel like either you're right on path with that, or that's exactly how you're showing up to everyone. Because it's like, yeah, like I don't think anybody can possibly ignore how much you've grown up, how much you've changed, how much your life has changed. And I almost feel like this sense of like, oh my gosh. And I got the message, spirit is my homie. That's silly. But yeah, you could maybe even kind of see yourself as like a friend with spirit. Like spirit and I collaborate. Spirit and I co-create, you know? Like I work with spirit, spirit works with me. Like we got that sort of bond. Because, like, I don't know if people really realize this about the Empress, but she's very divinely enlightened and tapped in. Look at that crown of stars that she's wearing. You know, very intuitive, very tapped in. Nothing really gets past her, especially being the Empress. She can't let things get past her, so she kind of has to have that intuitive side. I want someone to meet the Empress. Seven of Wands. Isn't that the perfect freaking description of this? Because the Seven of Wands is about fighting against the odds. Fighting no matter how bleak it looks. Like, okay, there's no possible way that I'm going to win this situation. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep trying my best. And I'm going to have faith that I will overcome this. That even though the odds are stacked against me, I will have success. I will be successful. Again, I'm getting goosebumps. You are a beast. You like literally have like an energizer bunny within you. Like you literally are so powerful, so strong, so capable. And it's like the more you go down your path, the more you see this side to yourself, that you're a fighter, that you are strong, that you can overcome anything. And it's almost like that builds up your confidence over this amount of time on your journey. It's like the things I've been through have not defeated me. So you really think that this new obstacle, roadblock, whatever, you really think that's going to slow me down? You really think that's going to hold me back? Think again. Because it's like you really are owning this energy that you're in. And it's like, it's almost like you dare. Like, it's like, yeah, just like, it's like you dare. Yeah, you dare circumstances, people to mess around with you. Because it's like, do you really think that I can't move, you know, in ways that I need to avoid these types of things, or, you know, to counteract these types of things? Like, I don't know. I almost feel like some people may not quite see how truly either intuitive or capable you are, and so it's almost like these little tiny little creatures, I'm kidding, like you know, they try to stick their head in there, they try to like see if they can disrupt you, they try to see if they can, you know, mess with you, and they're caught off guard by how you're showing up, which is like, you really think you got that sort of power over me? Do you know who the hell I am? That's really the kind of energy. It's like very strong, very powerful, but very attractive at the same time. So yeah, I think you're definitely attracting a lot of people during this time, let me just say. Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this is showing where you've come from. This is not your future, this is your past. You've been hurt so many times, you've been so betrayed, you've been so devastated, to the point where you couldn't even see clearly. Like, and I hate to point out this because I hate gruesome things when it comes to animals, but the sword is going directly through this like is it a buffalo or an ox? It's going straight through their eyeballs. And that speaks to me of like just seeing nothing but darkness, being so full of pain and anguish that you literally cannot see clearly. You cannot see a future ahead of you, but yet you still kept going. You still believed. You still trusted. I want to see what's underneath that Ten of Swords. The Strength card. I had a feeling it was going to be a good one. I had a feeling that it was going to be a beautiful card underneath that. So you go from the Ten of Swords to the Strength card. You stayed strong even in those times of darkness, complete rock bottom. Anyone else that had gone through what you've gone through may have given up at this stage, but not you. You kept going. You kept saying that I trust that there is better ahead of me. There's going to be a light at the end of this tunnel. I just know it. So definitely thank yourself for any good things that come into your life, because you've deserved every single one of them. Whatever blessings come in, wonderful people that come in, wonderful opportunities come in, you deserve each and every one of them because of the work that you have put in on yourself. You have not given up. You've kept pushing. And I really want to emphasize that not everybody can do that. Not everybody chooses to do that. Not everybody has a desire to do that. But you have. And you do that. I feel like you actively do that too. That's kind of like who you are at this point. As a strong person, as a fighter. Somebody that does not let anything or anyone hold them back. Powerful, beautiful energy. I love this energy so much. You're an amazing person. I'm just going to say that. This is amazing energy that you're in. So it's no wonder why there's a lot of people around you that are either regretting what they've done, looking at your glow up and being like, damn. And then there's also people that are like, hey, I want to apologize. Hey, I want to express my feelings. Hey, I want to see if, you're open to me. So it makes sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Let's break out the oracle, see what that has to add to this reading. Please and thank you, Spirit. Any additional messages for the collective for this reading? Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay, interesting. So I think a couple came out together. Oh, a few. So the first one that came out is the can't talk. The wolf and rose hip. This represents guardianship. Spirit is protecting you, and I think you know that. But also you protect yourself because you're so tapped into the divine. You could trust your intuition to kind of guide you to do certain things and stuff. But Spirit is fierce in protecting you is what I want to say. I'm hearing like, you better not hurt my baby. No, sir. We are not doing that around here. Spirit is very dogged, in their protection of you. They want to protect you. And they do. Wow. And then the other cards that came out, we have the butterfly and snowdrop. This represents hope. You've hoped for a better future. You see hope where people don't. You're able to maybe stay optimistic even in times of struggle, difficulty. Also, there's something about remaining lighthearted, remaining gentle, remaining carefree, I want to say. There's a certain lightness to you where it's like you don't let yourself become beaten down by life. And it's like nothing is going to stop you from feeling your own happiness, to find the little things that can make you happy in life. Like nothing is ever going to get you down. Like, it's just a beautiful energy. And then the spider and passion flower, this represents creative ingenuity. You have a very powerful mind. It's very clear here. Creative ingenuity. I think that you very much think outside the box in a lot of ways. You do something different. Your story is different, I want to say, because of who you are as an individual. Like, you literally have such a different way of looking at the world, different way of like going through things, reactions to things is not like everyone else. So I feel like through you sharing your story, that's also gonna open up other people's minds to the possibilities that they never thought were possible. There's definitely something about the way that you are, the way that you show up in this world that is very important and significant. Definitely lead into your creativity and your outside of the box thinking. I feel like that's going to lead you to your success. And I feel like you kind of already know that. And then bottom of the deck, we have the elk and ash. This represents strength. Okay. I can't ignore the fact that we saw strength at the bottom of this deck. Right here. And then one of the last cards that came out for you is the strength card. And then now we have the elk and ash that represents strength. Like, are you kidding me? Who are you? You are... Honestly, some people might literally think you're inhuman. Because, like, how do you bounce back from that? Like, how do you stay strong? Like, how do you keep going? Again, I'm getting this energy of, like, you're a beast. Like, you will not be stopped. You cannot be tamed. You cannot be slowed down. People have tried. I want to say people have really tried to slow you down, have really tried to put obstacles in your path, and yet you don't let any of that affect you. And maybe it does affect you to some extent internally, but you do not show it on the outside. You do not. You are just like, you're sturdy like a tree. You're sturdy like a tree, like standing the test of time. Like you, and it's like each year, each obstacle, each moment just shows you how strong you are, and it leads to that feeling of confidence. Like, I went through that, I can go through this. You know, I've gone through much worse than this. This is nothing, you know? Oh, I love this energy so much. There's a low-flying plane, which is interesting because I heard a reading earlier, and I don't remember who or what the reading was, but that said that that was a sign. So I'm gonna point that out, that there is airplane flying a little bit lower. You might hear it in the background, but I wonder if that has something to do with something moving, and that movement being much closer than you realize. So if you're not experiencing a lot of growth and movement in some sort of area of your life that you want it to take place in, I feel like it's much closer than you realize. And maybe you're about to be like rocketed to the finish line, like zoomed to where you want to be. It almost even feels like a sense of like a portal, almost, of like entering this portal where you're going to be like fast tracked to your success. Interesting. Anyways, so that has been the reading. This is probably a very long reading, but I feel like it was worth it because, like, look at all these wonderful like messages that came through. Like, I think that was very necessary. But I hope this uplifted you and gives you some hope for the future, if you've been struggling at all. But yes, so if this resonated at all, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective, because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me, and we can be a little bee family together. If you like my readings and you'd like to see more, be sure to click that bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you the next time they upload. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.